Hi, this is frequently asked homework questions from homework 3.2. We would have the odds on that sheet. So let's take a look at number one. Number one said find the domain of each function. We are not worried about simplifying here. We are simply worried about the domain. And since we have a fraction, we know that we're looking for a denominator that can't equal 0. That would be what our variable cannot be. We really don't care what's in the numerator. So we factor that. Using the zero product property, we can set each factor equal to 0. And so we know that x cannot equal 5 and x cannot equal 2. Again, we don't care what's in the numerator. That makes no difference in finding the domain. If I want to write this as an interval, I would say negative infinity to 2, union 2 to 5, union 5 to infinity. And so our domain, our graph, will exist everywhere else for every x value except 2 and 5. All right, next is 23, and yes, I'm pretty confident 23 has an error in the problem, but we'll go ahead and take a look at it. I'm going to factor out the 5. I'm going to factor out the 3. And as you can see, nothing here is going to simplify. So yes, the answer on the back, or the problem, I think, needs to be fixed. When I need to take a look at that, I wonder if I have half of one problem, half of another. Oh, actually, I found the mistake. When I was typing this, 22 and 23 have the same second fraction. So that's my screw up. In that, I guess I copy and pasted and only changed half the problem. So yes, 23 is incorrect. I'll have to go back and fix that. But as we look at domain restrictions, if we wanted to, 5, we don't have to worry about that being 0. So therefore, b can't equal negative 6. And we also have that x can't equal 5. All right, the next problem we're going to take a look at is 21. Okay, so here's 21. So my first step of factoring is always GCF, and I see in the numerator I can factor out a b cubed. And in the denominator, I can factor out a b to the 4th. So I already see that I know b cannot equal 0 from b to the 4th, and I'm going to go ahead and cancel out my b cubed. From here, I see that my numerator will factor. So factors of 20, x minus 10, and x minus 2. In the denominator, I'm going to factor out a negative and then rearrange things to be in an order that is more easily factorable. And really, the only factors I care about are, is x minus 10 going to be a factor, or is x minus 2 going to be a factor? So I need to factor this denominator and see if anything cancels. Let's see, let me use x minus 10. That means my other factor would need to be a 3x and a 4, and we need to be a positive. Let me double check that that middle works out. X times 4 is 4x, and a negative 30x would be negative 26, and that does give me a negative 40 at the end. And so I can now cancel out this factor. I also have another restriction, x can't equal 10. We are left with x minus 2 over the opposite of the quantity, 3x plus 4. And then from there, I also know that x cannot equal a negative 4/3. And so that would have all the restrictions on our variable. As I look at 25, I can go ahead and state a couple of restrictions. I know that x can't equal 0, and I know that y can't equal 0. And so now let's proceed with factoring. So m squared minus 13m plus 36, m minus 9, m minus 4. I'm going to go back for just a second because I see I can cancel an x out, and a y out. And I see the numerator and denominator also share a 4, so that would be a 2 and a 3. So in the numerator, I'm also left with a 3x squared. In our denominator, I'm left with a 2, and as I look at 27 minus 3m, and knowing my goal is to try to factor one of the things I see up above, I'm going to choose to factor out a negative 3, and so that makes the 27 become a negative 9, and the negative 3m because it become positive. And so now I can see m minus 9 cancels, which means m can't equal 9. We are left with then 3x squared times m minus 4 all over negative 6. I can then take one step further because I see that in the numerator I have a 3, in the denominator I have a negative 6, so I can cancel a 3 out, which means I'm left with x squared m minus 4 over negative 2. I have no more restrictions on the variable because negative 2 can't ever equal 0. I did then have a couple questions about 31 on the back. And 31 is saying, what's the domain of this function? So if you think about this graph, it's the graph of absolute value, and you have an idea what that graph looks like. It's a V. Okay? So we're asking right now, what's the domain? Well, no matter where I were to put this V on the coordinate plane, these arrows mean if I'm looking at domain, domain's always left to right. If I were to put this on a grid, it actually does look something like this, by the way. Would it exist from where my pencil is? Well, yes. Would it continue to exist? Yes. The domain for any absolute value is going to be all real numbers or negative infinity to infinity. I did have someone ask about if I could talk about the restrictions in 15. So I haven't worked all of 15, but what I did do is factor the denominator. And so as I look at this denominator, I know that the factor of 5b minus 2a cannot equal 0. And it is perfectly fine for you to leave it like that. So as I'm looking at this particular restriction, I am perfectly fine with you leaving this as the answer. You could write it as 5b can't equal 2a. You could say b can't equal 2/5 a. You could even say A can't equal 5 halves B. I mean, there's all kinds of ways that you can write that same restriction, but I'm perfectly fine with you leaving it as 5B minus 2A can't equal 0. In the same note, 6B plus A also cannot equal 0. And again, there's all kinds of different ways that you could write that. So there is not necessarily one particular way I'm looking for, just something that's equivalent there.